Have you ever told a lie?
Almost everyone thinks they're a good person.
That make me a human being.
But the question you should be
What would
asking
you call
is,
me if I told a lie?
am I good enough
A human
to
being.
go to heaven?
What?
I mean, you a liar just
How
like
would
I'm
you
a
know?
liar. That's in your blood.
Am I a good person? Yeah, you know, I think so. I mean, I don't go around just hurting other people. I pay my taxes, I got a job, I believe in God. So it's not like I'm out there smoking rock and shooting cops. Look, I even used to go to church when I was young. So yeah, I'm pretty sure when I die I'll go to heaven. I'm an average guy, I mean I ain't no saint, but I think compared to many people I'd say I'm an 8 out of 10. So yeah, I think my friends would say I try to do my best. Why do you ask, is this some sort of test? Is this some sort of survey or what? Look, I got stuff to do today, can we hurry this up? Am I a sinner? Have I been forgiven? Man, that's deep, I don't know, I'm just living. Listen, what's the point? I'm a busy man. Maybe when I get old and gray, you can ask me these questions again. Yeah, I get it. You never know when it's your time, right? I might die tonight and not make it to the white light. I've heard it all before, but you know, I'm still young. I don't want to think about all that stuff. I just want to have fun.
That make me a Christian. That make me a sinner. That make me a human being. I can't take that back.
Well,
and I can't do it. I'm gonna do it. Right now, I'm gonna do it.
So let's go through it and see how
You do you, and I'm gonna do me.
God's commandments? Yeah, I think there's 10. I know a few, but I don't remember all of them. Do I think I go to heaven if that's the standard I was judged? Could God really let me pass if he was just? Huh, wow, those are some really tough questions. I guess a good judge would actually have to punish my actions. Yes, I've lied, so I guess that makes me a liar. I'm being honest now, and I'm not in denial. Have I stolen? I guess when I was young. What's that make me? Look, I'm just human. Who hasn't stolen something little here and there? Okay, now I'm a thief? Okay, that's not even fair. Have I looked at a woman with lust? Duh, yes, I mean, haven't all of us? Jesus said what? That that's adultery. Well then, yeah, I guess I'm guilty. Have I taken God's name in vain? Yeah, in anger, and for that I am ashamed. Yes, I'm hated, but some people get what they deserve. What? That's as if I was a murderer.
You know what God did to you?
You shall have no other gods before me. Jesus said to love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Have you ever failed to put him first in your life?
Well, I'm gonna be up there.
So what you're saying is that by my own admission I'm a murdering, lying, thieving, blasphemous adulterer at heart? And because I've sinned, I've been separated from God and condemned? Man, that rings so true. It's like I knew it. But what can I do? I've been so stupid. Do I need to see a priest to seek forgiveness? Please, I'll go to church. I'll even go on Wednesdays. Look, I'm willing to do anything God asks. What? My works are but filthy rags? There's nothing I must do except see where I'm at, and then he'll change me after the fact? I don't deserve that. That doesn't make sense. I've been too bad. I should face punishment. You say it's all by grace? My sins can be erased? All I must do is repent because he took my place? He faced the judgment so justice could be fulfilled, and at the same time made a way to be revealed? I get it now. How could I be so blind? None of us are good enough, and that's why Jesus died.
Many live their lives barely giving God eternity a thought. The Ten Commandments are God's measure of what right living is. Most men
Good evening, everybody.
Everyone his own goodness.
I hope you're all having a good evening tonight. I hope you've been having some fantastic time with your families and stuff. That's what this is all about. This time of the season, that's what it's all about. Focusing on Christ and spending time with your family and making memories to last a lifetime. Okay, with all that bullshit out of the way, we shall get on with the show. Looks like JR's awake, so I guess we're going to go ahead and get him added into the program because he's across the pond over there. And we'll see what's going on over there for Boxing Day. Mr. David F. Townball, and get him added in. I don't think anybody else is going to be... Well, Lance is lit. Holy crap, is he home? Add to the call, Mr. Lance Mussa. I thought he was going to be out drinking beer and stuff and looking at a million lights. So if he's home, we'll see what he's got to say about all that stuff. What's up, JR? Happy Boxing Day. Uh-oh. JR? Sounds like your audio's fouled up over there, man. There's David F. Town Bala. What's up, Dave?
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, well, at least it's not on my end. Hey, Mr. Lance Musser made it back from drinking beer and looking at a billion lights. All right. Welcome, Lance.
Yeah, man, I did. I went to Busch Gardens tonight, so it was pretty cool.
I got to know about that, man. JR, you're going to have to reboot your stuff and come back on the program, brother. Your audio is nothing. Go ahead, Lance. I want to know about the billion lights.
Well, I mean, every year, we got Busch Gardens right here in Williamsburg. It's only about, 18, 20 minutes away. So, we've had season passes for, 20, 24 years now. But every Halloween they do Howl-O-Scream, and they started doing Christmas Town maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. And I'm telling you, they put 1 billion lights. Everything is lit up. It's the most spectacular display of Christmas lights that you could ever see. And there's people walking around in character, selling hot chocolate everywhere. And we had everything's a buffet. You got to buy tickets. It's a buffet. But
1 billion lights.
We had dinner with Santa and Mrs. Claus tonight. They did a little
awesome
play, read the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and
how is Satan?
'Twas the Night Before Saturnalia.
How is Satan doing? Pretty good?
Yeah, man.
Put on
he
a
was
bunch
doing
of weight?
pretty good, and he was getting ready for Saturnalia.
Oh, shit. So, hey, I'm Dave. It's nice to know that you thawed your mic out from up there in the cold and snow and freezing hell that is the Dakotas.
Yeah, it's cold, dude.
You said the wind chill's going to like 40 below tonight or something, you said?
Yeah, between now and tomorrow, all day tomorrow, really all the next week. The next 2 weeks, it's supposed to be like 30 to 50 below zero with the wind.
That's just...
Shit, it was 70 here yesterday and about 40, 45 tonight.
Oof. It was cold here today. I woke up this morning at 6:30 to let the dogs out, and there was actually snow falling out of the sky. It didn't stick to anything, and the sun came out later, and it actually got to 33, I think, so everything melted off. But, yeah, it's cold here. So, yeah.
I've been up here 31 winters, but when you hear 50 below zero, you just shake your head and go, what's going on, man?
Right. That's crazy.
It is. 50 below zero. That's insane, dude. It just messes your car. It messes everything up.
Yep.
You got to put on your whole winter attire just to let your dog outside.
And the dog don't really want to go out. He's looking at you like, are you fucking kidding me? I got to go out there and take a shit?
Yeah, because they go out and you got to watch them, especially if they're younger puppies or if they get older like mine is, their paws will freeze and they'll just fall down and they'll just lay there and you have to go out and really motivate them to get up or try to pick them up yourself and move them.
Right.
That's why I'm glad I got a pet door. I don't ever have to let mine in and out.
Well, especially when you got about half a foot of snow on the ground, too. They get out there in that snow and they just drop. And they're just like, shit. I've had to run out a couple times to get my dog when we first got him when he was a puppy. And he would just freeze up in 2 seconds.
Yeah. My dogs are actually excited. They're like, hey, it's cold and stuff. And they went out today and kind of looked around. And what's the shit falling out of the sky? So it's cool. It's nice. A little change in the season. You know what I mean? If it's going to be cold, there better be snow on the ground. I don't like the cold and I don't like the wet cold. So I don't like rain and cold temperatures. If it's going to be cold, there should be snow on the ground. If not, then it needs to be about 75.
Yeah, that's the way I see it too, even though it feels colder out with the snow on the ground.
Yeah, but at least there's a reason. You walk outside and there's a blanket of snow. There's a reason for it to be cold. So
I'm like that too. I can't stand just a gray, dull winter,
Yeah, it's been like that here for 3 days until the snow started falling this morning. So, welcome back, JR. Did you get your shit all sorted over there?
Yeah, cheers. And is it okay if I please wish everybody a happy Christmas again?
Go for it.
But this time it's just more towards this, the area of the festive season, so it's more on topic, you could say.
Happy Yule, everybody!
Exactly, Yule. Now that's better. Thank you.
That's the
And
pagan,
Christmas.
That's the pagan place they stole it Christmas from. So.
Exactly. I think I prefer Yule more than Christmas. See, it's more on topic. It's
Celtic.
It is the proper time.
Right.
Okay, it's just proper Yule time. Yuletide. Okay.
Watch out for Krampus.
Exactly.
Don't let him eat your children. Okay. Let's jump right into the news portion of the. I mean, if this thing starts getting really slow and we run out of shit to talk about, then I've got a video that I can play that's about 30 minutes long or so. So, if you guys get bored or whatever, you want to cut it short, then just let me know and I'll throw that video on for everybody to check out, and we'll go from there. But in the meantime, let's dive into the stack of stuff that is David.
All right. Well, things are heating up. Yesterday, Secretary of Defense Mattis came out and he said that storm clouds are gathering over the Korean Peninsula, and this is a big shift in him. He said peace is just getting to be further and further away. He said he's saying now war is coming.
Didn't they say that about a year ago too? And it's back and forth.
Well,
every time.
Mattis is a real serious guy. He's never said that. He's always, him and Tillerson has been wanting peace through this whole process. At least they've been acting like they have. And Trump's always been the one to undercut both of them.
That's
and these two
Trump
guys, like I believe, Mattis, he knows what war's all about. He's a decorated general. He's been around, for three decades.
Right.
Trump,
as soon as he got into the chair, dude, he started surrounding himself with military. That's almost his entire cabinet's ex-military, or you know what I mean. So, except for his family,
got 4 generals in his cabinet.
Right. That's So there you go. That's why I knew it was going to go to war eventually. If Hillary would have been in office, we'd already be in World War III, I think.
Yeah.
But it's coming eventually, no matter what.
But so Mattis changed his stance completely, and he was talking to he was somewhere talking yesterday to a bunch of soldiers and stuff, and he says that peace is just getting further in the distance. Now, what came out today, or I should say late last night, this was interesting too. This is what he said. He said, "There's a war coming. Marine Corps Commandant tells troops be ready for a big-ass fight as military planners say next conflict could be against Russia or North Korea." And it says, the nation's top Marine Corps commander told American soldiers stationed in Europe that there's a war coming, and there's a big-ass fight war on the horizon. General Robert Neller told the Marine Corps Commandant made the remarks during a holiday visit with U.S. troops stationed in Norway this week. He was speaking to 300-member contingent of U.S. troops stationed at the Norwegian Home Guard base near Trondheim. It says on Friday, Mattis told U.S. soldiers in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, that storm clouds are gathering over the Korean Peninsula. So these high-level officers stationed around the world were telling our troops to get ready.
Do you think that the storm clouds might have been caused by the exhaust of all the fucking ships that we've got floating around that area? Come on, man. We've been fomenting these storm clouds for.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Okay,
I absolutely agree.
Go ahead, keep going.
And so it says the nation's top Marine Corps commander told American troops stationed in Europe that there's a war coming and that a big ass fight was on the horizon. He told 300 troops that. He says, "I hope I'm wrong, but there's a war coming." He says, "You're in a fight here, an informational fight, a political fight by your presence." And it says the Marine Corps Commandant was speaking to the troops about the importance of readiness even during peacetime missions that can change depending on the circumstances. He was like in a town hall style forum there in Norway taking questions from the troops. And he says, Miller said that while America wants to look beyond Iraq and Afghanistan, it cannot always dictate events. Says the problem is we may not be interested in the Middle East, but they seem to be fascinated with us. And as long as there are groups there that threaten the United States, there will have to be some presence. So he's saying we're staying in the Middle East.
I know we still got a day to go, but I noticed that so far nobody from this administration has made a surprise visit to any of the war zones like we used to do.
Oh, Pence went to Afghanistan.
Oh, big deal.
Yeah, that's the only one that I see.
Is the USO still active? I haven't seen anything from them in a long time either. They used to go over there and keep the troop morale up and stuff during.
I haven't heard nothing about them lately.
Just thought I'd ask. So, what you want to keep going on this topic here, or you want to talk about the whole war starting over in India and Pakistan?
Well, let me add a few more things on North Korea. All right. It was on Thursday or Friday, the UN, all 15 permanent members voted to put more sanctions on Iran or on North Korea. And China and Russia backed this resolution, and it's to cut off 90% of the oil to North Korea, limit them to 500,000 barrels. I think, was it a month or a year, something like that, just enough to get by. Not enough to oil their machinery in the military and stuff like that. It cut off almost all money to them. And little Kim came out late last night and says, I consider this an act of war. And he says, you finally pushed it too far.
Saw that cross the RT flash.
Yeah, and so we are going to war with North Korea, and we're going to war with Iran. It's just like that general said, we're fixing to have a big-ass fight, and it's going to involve everybody. And it really, truly is. That's not fear porn either, and I hate to say that on Christmas Eve, but the people want to know. 2018 is going to be a war. It's going to be a big war.
You've been following this. You've been following this path for 8 years, 9 years. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you know what you're talking about. Go ahead, Joe.
Dave.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
It's still okay if I say North Korea have been threatening war for decades and decades and decades. Okay, it's the same mantra. But in my opinion, the only real threat of war for them would be a naval blockade of their ports, which would stop oil from getting in.
Well, that's it. That's what they're doing. They passed a resolution to check every single ship that goes into North Korea now. No matter if it's military, cargo, whatever, every ship has to be checked now.
That's a game changer.
Because of this UN resolution yesterday. And that's what I'm talking about, this being serious.
Yeah, that's why Kim said it was an act of war.
This was the last.
Yeah, sure.
This was the last of the sanctions that could be put on North Korea. There's no more sanctions. This was it. And China and Russia backed them up. That's the surprising thing.
Yeah, that's great.
But still, I don't trust China, and I don't trust Russia.
Yeah, exactly. The reason that they backed it all was because they know once this war gets kicked off, the United States is going to get smashed.
Yeah, exactly, Jimmy. That's exactly it. They're setting us up for the kill.
Yeah. Oh shit, we set ourselves up, Dave. Come on, man. We knew exactly what was going on. Hillary Clinton knew it back when she was still Secretary of State. She said, we're fighting an information war and we're losing. The rest of the planet looks at this country as if we were a fucking thorn in their ass. They're getting ready to pop that bubble, man. They're getting ready to pop that bubble.
We're getting ready to get smashed, and that's serious shit. You know?
So, no, keep going. You said you got a couple more things on the Korea thing. Go ahead.
So those resolutions are, it's like Kim says, it is an act of war. This war, we're finding any which way to start it.
Yep.
I don't believe that
we wanted somebody else to start it, but they wouldn't take the bait. So now we got to do it ourselves, right?
I don't believe that Kim really wants this war.
No, he doesn't.
He knows he's going to get his ass kicked. The only people that don't know they're going to get their ass kicked is our administration.
Yeah, is us. Well, maybe they do know, and this is just how they finish us off.
Well, yeah, that could be. The population control. There's all kinds of things they can throw in there, right?
Biological warfare.
Exactly. They're already bringing UN troops over to put boots on the ground in Chicago. A couple more steps later, and bang, Bob's your uncle. All right, keep going.
And even though, like I said, Russia and China backed this resolution, I don't trust either one of them. We're setting ourselves up to be destroyed, and I think that's the whole plan. And how they destroy us, who knows? You know, it could be a chemical attack, biologicals going off everywhere. You know, it could be all kinds of different ways.
D, all of the above.
You know, it could be tactical nuke strikes. You know, from Russian subs off our coast, from Chinese subs off our coast, and we got subs off their coast. You know, no one even has to launch an ICBM. There's enough nuclear submarines floating around to do enough damage.
Right.
People don't ever think about them. They're your silent killers, man.
Yeah, there's no 20-minute leeway for you to go call somebody and say, "Hey, man, hope you're not under ground zero." No.
Yeah.
If they're sitting off the coast,
they can launch these attacks right off our east and west coast.
Yep, sitting on the international or the whatever, the maritime lines or whatever, where it goes from open ocean to coastal waters.
We know that, man. We got them off theirs too, you know. And you know, I don't believe ICBMs would be used in the next nuclear type war. I think it would just be tactical nuke strikes. This city gets taken out, DC, Moscow, Beijing.
Well, you know, and at
weapons are so 1960s.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, with the technology that we have, I don't even think they're going to need to use nukes.
Dirty.
You know, they'll take people out with biological weapons, and if they need to fight, you know, boots on the ground, then they'll fight boots on the ground. But it'll all be standard weapons. I don't think anybody wants to deal with a nuclear fallout. I don't think they want to deal with that.
Well, tactical nukes only live a limited amount of fallout. That's what's so great about them. You can nuke a whole city and the fallout's
But the psychological effect that it's going to have on the people, you know, whether or not they're going to want to move back in the area.
Tactical nukes have more of a psychological effect.
Well, no, I'm just saying if they want to come over here and start taking over the U.S., they don't want a bunch of fucking radioactive hot spots all over the place. People aren't going to want that ground. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a psychological thing.
Take us over. I think they just want to kill us and worry about whatever happens later.
Please, come on. There's so many. We've got so many minerals and shit in the ground over here. They're itching to get over. China's already over here drilling and finding places to, you know, Russia's got the Uranium One deal. They already own 25% of our uranium. You think they're not going to move right in and start mining that shit up? Oh, come on, man.
Well, you know, you can destroy cities with conventional strikes.
That's what I mean. They'll just resort to conventional weapons. They're not going to try nuking anything. They'll come in and bust a biological over the city and kill all the people off, and then just go in there with plow trucks and plow them up into a big pile and bleach the city down and reuse it.
Pretty so.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No matter what's used. You know, I think cyber attacks. I think, you know, who knows? You know, will there ever be an EMP? You know,
how Boris Johnson went over to Russia this week and said to Lavrov,
yeah, they got a fight.
Yeah, he's trying to pick a fight with Russia.
They did. The Russians and the Britons got into a fight.
Did he comb his hair before he went over there and started running his mouth? It's hard to take people serious, man, when they look like they just rolled out of bed and put a suit on.
No, he's an idiot, isn't he? But, you know, that's our foreign secretary, so that sums everything up, doesn't it?
Right.
That sums our government's job done, you know. Oh, what a carnival of clowns.
The thing that's blowing me away, and I've known this forever, so I don't know why it's blowing me away, but the thing that's really blowing me away right now is that we're going to watch this happen.
Yeah, well, that's it. It will unfold on your television.
We're already watching it happen.
Will be on your television.
Yeah, but I never thought it would get to this stage. I thought somebody would step in and go, nah. Put the brakes on this shit, boys. You're way out of the park on this one. You need to stop. You need to stop
it, man.
No,
they're accelerating. They're accelerating.
Yeah, it has to happen. But because if it doesn't happen,
it's biblical, man. This is how you know it's biblical.
Yeah, the second coming doesn't happen. Okay,
that's right. That's what I'm saying. This is
and the second coming.
Yeah, they couldn't have put it off for 30 more years, man. I'm only going to be around for maybe 30, maybe. You know, whatever. I don't know if I want to deal with all the shit we're dealing with for 30 more years, though, man. This is just it's off the chain.
It's ridiculous.
It is
stupid.
And yeah, I don't even want to get into all the ranty shit. Wake up over there, Lance. Chime in on this crap, dude. We're talking serious stuff over here.
Oh no! I'm with you. I mean, they've got every the groundwork laid, kind of like they did for Iraq, almost pre-positioning of a lot of troops, a lot of chatter going on. It's coming, but I don't know how it'll be.
They're on the DMZ practicing. You can't get much closer to North Korea than the DMZ, right? I mean,
and there was another defection this week, I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think actually.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So at least that guy wasn't full of parasites and shit. I mean, good on him.
True.
Got out and
You just got to remember when this kicks off, there's going to be a chain of events happening right after another. I mean, once we go to war with North Korea, you're going to see moves. I'm going to switch gears because this ties right into the World War III scenario. Trump just approved offensive weapons to Ukraine and sniper rifles, but the big thing is anti-tank missiles to start blowing up these rebel tanks over in eastern Ukraine. And so Trump signed off on it on Friday after he left and went to Mar-a-Lago. He signed off on it, said, Ukraine, I'm going to do what Obama was going to do. I'm going to send you offensive weapons. Now, Russia came out immediately and said, you just crossed the red line. I think this deal, and I'm starting to say, and I don't like Trump, and I'm just starting to think that Trump maybe was pulling Putin's leg by being friends with him and is pulling fast ones now.
This is less than a week after the whole, hey man, there's terrorists in your country that are getting ready to set off a bomb.
Yep.
You better, and all the huggy kissy shit over the phone and thanks for your help and we're going to help you too and got your back, pal, got your back too, right on. Yeah, so
I think Trump played. He had me fooled. I don't.
He's got everybody fooled, man. They thought he was fucking handed down by Christ. We talked about this. I'm serious. We talked about this on the last show too, man. We saw all the memes on Facebook of Jesus standing over the back of him with the holy lights all around him. Come on, people. Come on.
This whole story between him and Russia, him being, put into office by Russia is bullshit. But it's bullshit in a way, as I think Trump and them got the story going on purpose to make. I don't know. There's something going on where Trump ain't close to Putin. I think he sucked Putin in and pulled the rug out underneath of him.
Well, you could say it's. You could say that Trump is a person of business, or tries to be a person of business. Okay, and to be a person of business, you have to be two-faced. Okay, so he's probably being two-faced with Russia.
Our whole mainstream media is trying to make Russia look like the bad guy. I think, and I believed it for a while.
Good cop, bad cop.
Since all this shit started, even in Syria, back under the last president that we had, Putin's been the only one calling for peace at all, and people to stop and talk.
That's true, that is, yes.
You know what I mean?
I must confess, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to judge these motherfuckers. We're going to war no matter where it's going to be.
Yeah, we're going to war.
Israel, Iran, if it's going to be the Pakistan, India thing going on now, if it's going to be us and North Korea, we're going to war. And it's going to drag the entire fucking world into it, whether we like it or not.
Now, here's the question. If it was between Russia or the United States, where would the United Kingdom sit? Because we've got ties on both sides.
You guys are going to go where the money is. You'll play like the Turks. That's the way the City of London does.
And
you'll fund both sides, and you'll always wind up on the winning circle.
A bit like the United States.
Well,
because we're both run by the same fucking banks, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Both these countries are run. All we are is your extended military. We're your bigger military, right?
Yes. Sadly, yes.
There you go.
Well, Europe, it's a good thing Britain's trying to get out at least. Europe's done. This is why the war is kicking off, too. The infiltration
But they're trying to back out of the Brexit now, too. There's all kinds of chatter over there about that. We'll talk to JR about that here in a little bit.
In my opinion, Europe's finished, man.
The EU
invasion began a long time ago with those Muslims overtaking it. You know, it's collapsed economies over there almost, and the people building up, trying to build their border walls again. And
Mark Aaron, let me read a couple of comments from the room here real quick. Mark Aaron says there's a lot of military feints that are happening around the planet, which is true. L4 says lack of central banks in Syria, Iran, and North Korea. That's the only 3 countries left that the Rothschilds don't have their hooks in.
Yeah, well, yeah, the World Bank.
Right. David Howard said he's been to Ukraine 6 times. There's great people over there. Said he spent time in Yalta in the Crimea also. L4 said that's for the Christians. They're trying to kill them all. Let's see. David Howard says been to Russia too. Great people there. Love Russia and Putin, L4 says. There you go, man. Banks, the banks, the banks. The banks.
Well, that's it. It's
run
money.
Everything.
The Rothschilds and money.
Yep. All right.
And
go ahead,
is
David.
It okay?
Go ahead, JR.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Is it okay for which everybody in the chat room a very Merry Christmas?
Sure.
And a happy and safe and healthy New Year.
Yep.
Okay? And
Remember,
everybody who's listening on the recording on YouTube, a happy and healthy New Year. Thank you.
everybody remember that this is a pagan holiday that was corrupted by the Catholic Church. But you know, it's the reason for the season, right? Everybody focused on Christ.
Yuletide.
Get back to God. He's the only way you're going to make it through all this bullshit we're talking about right now. Yeah. So there you go.
Jesus was born in March or
no, he
Easter.
was born September 11th, 3 BC.
All right. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, David.
Merry Christmas. So you got all that going on, like you said. This is going to be a chain reaction, and you're going to see shit go off all around the world. I mean, you're going to see stuff go over with Ukraine. Like I said, Putin is going to make a beeline for Poland right off the bat after he blows through Ukraine. After there, I think he's going to try to take over Europe. I really do that.
He'll get the job done because they don't have any.
Blow through the Baltic nations and nowhere. And we've been pumping troops up there for the past year now, over a year.
More human sacrifices. That's all they're going to be. That's all they're going to be. Come on, we all know the game. Our military is tired. They've been at war for the better part of a decade or more. We're done. We're done. We got our technology's old. We've been putting all the money in people's pockets instead of reinvesting it in our fucking infrastructure here in the United States. We got nothing. We got 300 million plus guns in this country. So when it comes time for them putting boots on the ground here, they might have a little bit of a problem doing that unless they use extensive weapon systems. But the troops that we've got overseas, dude, they're going to get rolled over. They're going to get rolled over. We got no backup. Right, our military's thin as fuck. We got nothing. The NATO troops are going to tuck tail and run.
Well, that's strange you should say that because there was a report in the Express. I don't like reading that paper because they always, exaggerate. World War III is going to kick off tomorrow because there's a flake of snow going to hit the UK and blah blah blah. Anyway. I don't normally read the Express. Well, if it's true what it's reported that Theresa May or the MOD have given £1 per head to every UK serviceman overseas for Christmas, I think it's diabolical.
£1?
£1, yeah.
That's it. They got
£1. That's it.
Christmas bonus.
It's diabolical.
Can't even buy a stick of gum.
Diabolical.
But
it makes me feel sick. Yeah, they give Juncker and all those cronies in, the land of the EU
$200,000.
$39 billion.
Yeah.
So we can fill up his bloody wine cellar and his sherry pot.
And then when they decide to retire, they give him a couple $100 million in retirement bonuses and shit like
yeah.
This is the fleecing of the planet.
Have you seen that Juncker bloke? And we're supposed to be dealing we are supposed to be
Have
making
you seen Theresa May?
Deal. He's an absolute bloody, he's drunk as a monkey.
Theresa May's no better, dude, and neither is Angela Merkel or who's
Theresa May's diabetic.
Who's
So
the shithead over in France? You know, they're all a bunch of fucking puppets, man. They have a hand shoved up their ass.
She is not an alcoholic. Thank God.
The guy that we got in the fucking White House is an old fart with Alzheimer's disease and an ego problem. You know, these are the people that we voted in, right?
So
if you want to think about
Reagan
it that
had
way.
the same, but it was covered up.
Hey man,
but
the guy was
a good
80
president,
fucking years old when he was in office. What do you expect?
He was a good president, though. He was half decent.
He was an excellent actor. Yes, he was.
Exactly.
He was an excellent actor.
And a good president.
He was an excellent actor. Yes, he was. Hey, man, the truth hurts.
Anyway.
Okay, back to you, Dave.
Move you swiftly on.
Go ahead, brother.
I'm going to change subjects here real fast. Have you seen that new Taco Bell commercial?
I don't watch TV. Sorry.
It's called the Belluminati, and it's all Illuminati. I mean, I can send it to you, Jimmy, and you can play it. It's a 30-second clip.
The Belluminati?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, man. Are you fucking...
Let me send this to you. And
hey, dude.
You'll trip out on how the sheep can not look at this and not know what it means. I mean, it's right in your face.
But they're all sheep, dude. They don't know. If they see some jackass on TV with his fucking hand over his eye or doing the whole fucking, I don't know what they're like, oh, it's Hollywood. Cool.
No, but check that clip out. It's only 30 seconds long. I seen it today watching a football game with my son, man. It came on. I'm like, what the hell's that?
All right, hang on a second. Hang on, let me stop.
It's all Illuminati stuff. It's all Illuminati stuff for the whole 30-second clip. Triangles, everything in the world. They're trying to sell. They're calling themselves Bellamonte.
Yeah, Jesus.
Is there any Rothschild Pentagons?
No, it's a huge corporation, man. You know.
Yeah, true.
Whoa, way too big. Hang on. I'm getting it. Does it look pretty centered there, buddy? Yeah? Yeah? Can you all see that? All right. Now, you guys hush. Now we're going to watch this.
There's a powerful connection between the dollar and Taco Bell. Because it unlocks a world of 20 decadent menu items from breakfast to late night for just $1 each. 20 items for $1. 20 steps on the pyramid. Who's really behind this? Is it the Illuminati or the Bell-Illuminati? Experience the power of the dollar at Taco Bell.
Holy shit, dude.
Isn't that crazy? That's right in your face. I mean, it's the whole commercial's all of Illuminati. They're pushing it right out there everywhere, man. I haven't seen it more clear than this.
Dude, that's just fucking crazy, man. See, now people
creepy.
people like Lance, they're going to want to go out and buy some Taco Bell now.
It's just downright.
I had to watch it because I'm 30 seconds behind, so I'm just now watching it. That was
just
weird.
Downright creepy.
Man. So everybody's thoughts in the chat room about that one there? That should be a good one. Man. Holy cow.
I don't know if I'll ever buy a taco from them again because of that.
Well, it's not really Mexican food anyway, dude. It's not really beef that you're eating, or you know what I mean. It's just not. It's all processed shit. You can't buy anything real in a store now. If you walk into a regular store like a Harps or an IGA or all know
the steak's real.
Please, come on, man.
No, man. I used to work at Taco Bell. The steaks are real.
25 years ago when you worked there,
it's
maybe.
like the McRibs, 100% pork.
Oh yeah, processed pork.
No, I've seen it. It's real pork, man. They couldn't put a sign in the window that said 100% real pork for one true.
Real pork is snouts and ears and intestines and anything that comes out of the pigs. Yeah, that's all real pork too. That's all real pork.
No, man, there was a YouTube video where the McDonald's plant, they showed them making the stuff for the McRibs.
Yeah.
It's real pork. Pork butts.
I know what's going on here.
What?
It's a psychological hit.
Hell yeah. It's programming, man. It's programming. That's all.
No, wait. They know what's going on, okay? So what they're saying is, we know what you're thinking, but we are going to play with that, okay? Because they are, looking at the non-mainstream, and they're seeing what people are reading, looking at, because look at Watson and all their data mining. They are using all that information, and they are saying, look, right, you're looking at this, right, you know this, so what we're going to do is channel into this information that you already know about or looking at, and it's supposed to be underground, cough, cough.
Exactly, man, because they know that the people that see that commercial knows pretty much, there's ones out there that knows what it means.
And they're trying
it's like they're rubbing our nose in it,
focus
they're rubbing
their information and focus their adverts on those people.
Yeah.
You're rubbing your nose in it.
Okay.
Exactly.
We're gonna talk about something now really quick since we're doing a couple of rabbit hole things. Let's talk about the whole rocket launch off of the West Coast a couple of days ago that everybody online freaked the fuck out about. Thought it was a UFO. Talking about the second. What?
It was musky.
It was what?
Musky. Elon Musk.
Musk.
And his rocket.
Yeah. Muskie is a fish. A muskie is a fish.
What?
A muskie is a fish.
No, Elon Musk. Musky. I call him Musky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was.
Swiftly on. Go on.
It was supposedly a rocket launch from whoever the fuck Musk, SpaceX or whatever, SpaceX rocket launch.
Thank you.
Okay, so everybody's freaking out about this this second light in the sky that was kind of flittering and fluttering and putting off little waves of light off of it and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go, I mean, I have my own personal thing that I think about what it was, and I'll save that for the end because it might, contradict something somebody else might say. But we're just going to go around the panel here and around the room, everybody in the room that wants to talk about this, especially Mr. Mark Aaron, he was the one that brought it up. I want to know what your opinions are in the room, please. So start typing, y'all, and Lance, you're on.
So that they announced it days before. They announced it 2 days leading up to it, the rocket launch. So, there's obviously a lot of people that didn't, because the people that filmed it obviously didn't see the news alert on the news about the rocket launch that night. Not only that exact same video that they have, I mean, the first time I saw it was probably 10 years ago. So, I mean, it wasn't that video, but that exact same light with that exact same teardrop shape has been around for 5-10 years from now. That is not the first time I saw that image in the sky in a video.
Right. Okay. David, over to you.
Me and my son watched their live website of them. They dropped off 10 satellites in different orbits for this one communications company. Mm-hmm. And they had cameras like right up by there, and you could see this thing like every 2.5 minutes release a satellite, and you could kind of see them floating in a line with each other. It was awesome to watch. My son's real big into this type of stuff. And we sat there and we watched it and everything, and it was the live feed, and you could hear them talking, the control tower and everything talking, to the public, telling them when a satellite was coming. They had like a what do you call it, a telemetry or whatever of the different height that the rocket was going.
Telemetry.
And then they had like a countdown clock till they released the next satellite. And like I said, they did 10 of them. And, Elon Musk, man, NASA's bankrupt. Elon Musk is going to be the new military contractor for outer space stuff for the government. NASA, they ain't coming back. If we go to supposedly to the moon and Mars, it's going to be through like Elon Musk and
NASA's budget is $50 million a day. Do you really think that they're going to let them just walk away with all that fucking money? they're going to give $50 million to Elon Musk. That's
Right now,
scary, brother.
Yep, they are. We're going to. That's going to be the new military contractor for all our outer space stuff. Is going to be through him and other military, other space contractors that are going to be opening up too. Musk isn't the only one. There's another guy out there too that's really going strong, and all these major corporations like AT&T and everybody that wants satellites up in the air.
Space race.
NASA's, like I said, our government is starting to private contract through them to send up stuff. So, people like Elon Musk, man, they're going to cleaning up.
You can't beat the private space race.
Yeah.
The new private space race. Brilliant. It's better than making weapons.
So what we're seeing in the room here, let's see. Standing Stone says, wasn't it a known launch? Lance brought that up. It was broadcast 2 days before that they were going to shoot the thing. 31 says, rocket with a long-firing booster. That was the second stage. That was a little flippy-dooley thingy that everybody saw. The second light behind it, that was a booster falling back to Earth, you knotheads.
Yes, it was a booster falling down. That's all.
Right.
So see, I've seen many.
The rocket sure was going horizontal, not up. That's because we live on a level plane, David. Mark Aaron says something busting through the firmament. Oh, shit. Houston Recreation, I think that's what Hugh Rec stands for, said, is this a show about aliens? No, it's not a show about aliens. Although JR would like it to be a show about aliens, but no, we're not going to go there.
Yeah, aliens.
L4 says, if you want to know what the show's about, hang out for a little bit and you'll kind of follow it along. And then maybe afterwards, if you like the show, you can go look at a couple of the other ones that I've put up over the past couple of years. L4 says the rocket was flying too slow to be ours. I think it was a North Korean missile. It took 2 years to get here. Oh, shit. And then 31 Saint says again, multi-topics. It will change many times. Welcome to the show, Mr. Pratt. Oh, let's see. Operation Paperclip.
No, that's news.
And Stanley Beamish. Okay. That's it. I'm caught up in the chat room. So, David. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I almost left you out, JR. JR, your thoughts on the rocket launch on the West Coast.
Basically, it was a conventional rocket launch by SpaceX, and hopefully it was absolutely brilliant. And it went up, came back down, and they can reuse it. Because the best thing about SpaceX is recyclable rockets, not like NASA, all those throwaway things, So hopefully it popped up and popped back again.
It's fucking amazing that they can make a pencil stick in the ground like that every single time they shoot it up into space.
And bring it back down again and land it on sometimes a ship.
Oh, yeah, that's just fucking amazing CGI.
Right. Yeah. But it's just a recyclable rocket, and if they can set it up and take little satellites.
Have you seen the videos? Their testing facility is out in the middle of Texas, right? It's out in the middle of these cow pastures and stuff in Texas. Have you seen when they do the test fires of the rocket engines out there and shit? How it scares the hell out of the cattle. They run for their lives every time those assholes set off a rocket in the middle of the pastures. It's ridiculous that somebody would even sell them that ground and let them do that shit around all those. It scares the hell out of those cattle. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, sorry, rant over on that one. Moving on.
I feel sorry for the monkey and the dog that got killed.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, animals do, have to.
At least you didn't think it was aliens coming in to take over the Earth. That's what I was afraid.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's a natural rocket launch. I've seen loads of failed.
They talked about it.
Russians.
Yeah, 2 days before they were going to set the thing off. They talked about it. So
exactly. Yeah. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not aliens.
Right.
Hell no.
Mm-mm. couldn't
Well, it
be.
was the first one they've ever done from Vandenberg from the West Coast. All of his other launches have been from the East Coast. So that's why this was so different. Is this was the first time. And see, this is where the military contract comes in. Vandenberg Air Force Base allowed him to shoot that off from there. And so, it's getting to be a partnership between our government and these military industrial complex guys.
I think it's good. Personally, I'm all for it. Private industry coming into
I like it too. It's private. That's what I like about it. But it seems like whenever we have a guy start a private organization, the government always gets involved somehow.
Hang on a second, though. Hang on a second. Elon Musk has been losing money like crazy with Tesla. Okay, these fucking cars that he's supposed to be producing and this home electrical system that he's supposed to be producing have tanked. The guy who takes money from the government and shovels it out the door. He's been in the red since he started business, and he's still in the red. The only thing that's paying off is the SpaceX thing because the government pays you entirely too much money to make a fucking hammer, right? That's the way it is. So, Elon Musk is a crazy man that has entirely too much money.
Hasn't your president ever been in the green?
Maybe when he got his inheritance. After that, no. He's been taking money from other people.
That sums everything up then, doesn't it?
That doesn't explain nothing about Elon Musk, brother. You're trying to compare apples and oranges.
Okay.
I'm talking about Elon Musk. I'm not talking about the ego Trump.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. This cat is no genius. He takes technology that's been around forever and redoes it. There's nothing new under the sun, brother. He's not a fucking genius. He's a crazy man that has entirely too much money.
Crazy.
Yes, Elon Musk is crazy. He talks to demons and shit, brother.
Okay.
The only truth that Elon Musk has ever said is that AI is going to take over and kill humans off because we're a fucking parasite.
Everybody said that. Even
That's what I'm saying. He has no original thought, brother. He has no original thought. I just said the only truth he's ever spoken was that. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know too much about the dude, I guess.
I want to tap on something really quick that just came up in the room. Standing Stones brings up something that we brought up on the last show. Anyone here that Atlanta airport blackout was fake so they could get some nuclear shit on a cargo plane and get it to Israel?
No.
I have to say, after we had that discussion on the last show, SS, Lance had a very good point. There's no reason whatsoever for the military to try to hide any kind of flight to Israel. All they would do at this point is put it on a plane at a military base and fly it over there.
Yeah, that's it.
There's no reason for that. I think, personally, it was a test of a localized EMP. That's just me.
I think it was a complete and utter crappy accident that highlighted the fact that their safety and security is lax.
Extremely. But, for the fact that both of the main lines coming into the airport caught on fire at the same time, at the same junction, that
stupid.
tells me that there was a surge of some sort at that power station, and it shut the airport down. Here's another thing. Why don't they have backup generators on site? What?
They did. But the thing was...
Really? Because they were in the dark for hours and hours and hours. Excuse me? What? JR? What?
Yes.
What were you saying?
The power supply thing was above the main line. So their safety backup generator line was above the main line. And when it was basically both in parallel.
Oh, okay.
The other one caught as well. And they both went out.
That's not a backup generator. If both the lines are in the same location, that doesn't equal a backup generator. They should.
It's saying the massive lacks of bad.
Especially for the 5th largest airport in the world. Yeah, that's pretty lax.
Massive lacks. Massive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's moving on. Agent Smith said we're a virus in the Matrix movie. We are a virus. I don't know if we're in a Matrix movie or not, but humans are like cancer. We're the only thing that goes into areas that we've never been and tries to take it over.
Not entirely.
Humans are a parasite.
We try to be, but we're not all parasites.
No, not everybody. There's still some good cells out there, but the majority of us is like a fucking tumor.
We can be.
Yeah. Okay,
It
moving on.
depends how much money you've got.
Yeah. The more money you got, the bigger of a pain in the ass you are.
Exactly.
Moving on now. David, next on your stack of stuff.
Let's talk about this today. It says Pakistan opened fire along border, killing Indian troops. Warns nuclear war cannot be ruled out. You know, this started yesterday or the day before, where 4 Indian troops were killed on the line of control from Pakistan. And so India retaliated and killed a Pakistani sniper today. They saw him setting up and they took him out before he could get ready.
These are 2 nuclear powers, by the way, people.
And so then after that happened, after the Pakistani soldier was killed, a Pakistan official came out, military general, and says that they're on the edge of nuclear war. They said that these, the attacks back and forth can't go on much longer.
This is ridiculous, man. This is so ridiculous that I can't even justify it with words.
Nuclear, and this is where I get back to nukes, and I don't know how it's going to be. None of us do. But they're throwing the word nuclear around for the past year like it's nothing.
It's a poker card.
I don't believe that anymore, JR. I think it's beyond that point now.
It's something, it's a fear word. When the general stupid people hear the word nuclear, they're all like, oh my God, nuclear weapons, oh my God.
I think so many countries have nukes now that it's just not us, like when we bombed Japan.
Right.
Everybody has them now, and anybody could use them at any given time for any given reason.
Right.
And, we're always on a knife's edge from nuclear war. We're always on the knife's edge from a nuclear war, but the deal is there are some unstable leaders out there, Trump, that wouldn't be afraid to use them.
We never use a nuke. We've used an atom bomb, but not a nuke.
Well, you know what I mean. And,
I know. Yeah.
And the deal is, I'm not
the atomic bomb was nuclear fission. Okay?
Okay.
It was a nuclear type of weapon.
All I'm saying is, we're always on the edge of a nuclear war. Don't get me wrong, but the way it's been thrown around the past year, yes, it's a fear word, but 2, there are some psychotic people running countries right now that shouldn't be fucking running them that could do it at any given moment.
Right.
Trump.
I still don't think that anybody's willing to do it because of the fact that they don't want to have to clean up the fucking mess. They don't want to have to clean up the mess.
Like I said, not wanting to do it's one thing, crazy's another. When you're crazy and irrational and you're not thinking clearly because you're pissed off at some country and saying, fuck this. I'm an unstable fucking guy. I don't
and it's usually, those unstable motherfuckers are usually talking about some kind of religious shit.
Well, not Trump.
No, not Trump. No, but I'm talking about the whole Pakistan-India thing.
Why do you think our government's been having meetings on trying to find ways to overrule him when it comes to nuclear weapons? Because there's people in our government that are legitimately scared, not just Democrats, but Republicans too, that this goddamn fucking guy could launch nukes.
Right. Well, it's got to go through. He doesn't just have the button right in front of him, right?
No,
all he can do is make a phone call.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is going to go into, Dan said something to me earlier about Alex Jones coming out and saying that there's a coup. I mean, he actually come out and said that there's a coup in the White House or something. You catching any wind of that? And Dan, please feel free to chime in and chat as to what you heard, because I don't watch Alex Jones. I grew out of him a long time ago. But I haven't heard anybody... I haven't seen anything on Twitter or YouTube or anything about Alex Jones coming out and saying there was a coup going on in the White House. Although I have heard it before in other circles that something like that could possibly take place because of how many military people he has in his administration.
Our government's just in shambles, period. It don't matter what side of the line you stand on. I don't stand on either, so I don't have a horse in this fucking race.
Right.
But our government's disintegrating right in front of our goddamn eyes. And
people don't give a shit. People don't give a shit.
No one cares.
Could make for
Our
good
government's
TV.
a fucking chaos.
Jimmy
What?
and Dave, it's on this side of the pond as well. So I think it might be an agenda.
Well, it's the whole West. The whole West is crumbling.
Yeah.
The
whole
EU,
West,
yeah,
not just
everybody
America.
involved in NATO is on
Yeah.
shaky ground right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It ain't just America. It's our allies. It's everything.
Boom, Russia.
You know, Russia and China see this. They're like vultures swarming around us, watching us just spit out our last dying breaths before they pounce on us.
Yep.
There you go.
We are
That's the truth.
We are becoming carrion.
No, we're not. We are portraying a weak front for when the strike does happen. We will strike back with gusto and fury.
Fucking please.
I'm just joking. Hopefully.
You're a good taxpayer, JR. You're a good taxpayer.
No, I'm pro-military.
Why? The military-industrial complex is what got us into all this bullshit, dude. Because they
Not all
do what
military's
they're
bad.
told to do. They do what they're told
Not
to
all-
do for a paycheck. They don't question
Not all
authority.
military's bad.
They're trained not to question authority. They're trained to just do.
That's what you say.
Were you ever in the military?
No,
I was.
I know you were. That's what
Okay.
I said. That's what you said. I am part of a military family, but I never chose to choose the vacation of military.
Ask your military family members how they were
I
trained.
can't. They're all dead.
Well, then you got to take it from somebody that was there. You're trained not to question the people above you that give you orders. You're trained to do what you're told.
They never spoke of their time in the military.
Okay.
They signed a thing of secrecy.
I'm sure they did.
They did.
All right, Dave, what else you got over there? So Daniel Pratt says he did an hour-long broadcast, said I need to watch it. I don't know if I'll be able to sit through an hour of Alex Jones jumping up and down in his chair. But anyway, it says talks about the Q shit, this QAnon that's posting all this crap on Reddit. And it says it comes out and says this is a counter coup. It's a counter coup that's going on.
You know, I think it's all a damn show myself, man. I think
And for
it's
the
all a
record,
fucking show.
For the record, if you watch an hour of Alex Jones show, there's 25 minutes of it are commercials for his store.
Right, I know.
Him pumping stuff. So
I know. I just can't take him fucking bouncing up and down and pounding on his fucking day. I just, I watched about, I think I really listened to him close for maybe a little over a year when I first found him. And I got to give him props. I always do when I talk about him on the show. I used to never even mention his name, but I really don't care at this point. I got to give him props. He pointed me toward the alternative media because at that point I had absolutely no idea that they existed. And this has been over a decade ago now, So he actually pointed me toward the alternative media because I was one of those guys that listened to fucking Rush Limbaugh and blah, 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 right? Okay. Fox News. I had Fox News on all the time on my XM radio.
What's wrong with Don Lemon?
Whatever.
Well, he invited me to,
Don Lemon.
the Bill Cooper people and all those other ones.
If Bill
that have been
Cooper
saying it for 20, 30, 40 years.
But Bill Cooper was spewing truth, man. I mean, he was telling everybody that this is Babylon.
Bill Cooper was awesome.
If Bill Cooper had not been murdered, which I believe fully that he was murdered by the FBI on his front yard, if he had not been murdered, Alex Jones wouldn't be. He
That
wouldn't
Hicks
be.
guy's cool too.
Everybody says Bill Hicks and Alex Jones are the same dude.
I like Bill Hicks, man. I don't believe they're the same guy, but
that was
like
a pretty convincing video when they did the voice analysis. of the two of
Also,
them.
all of his moles and stuff on his face, his teeth. I mean, he's a dead-on match.
They did whatever they call that spectrograph on the voice analysis stuff, and they put the two of them next to each other. I saw that video.
Yeah.
and it was pretty convincing that they could be the same people for sure.
Yep.
I like Bill Hicks. So.
Bill Hicks was awesome, man. You get more truth from comedians than you'll ever get from anybody in office, man. You know?
Oh yeah, what's his name there from the 70s and 80s there?
George Carlin.
Yeah.
George Carlin was a phenom.
He
loved
was
that
ahead
guy.
of his time, man.
I loved him back then, and I had no idea what he was talking about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Lewis Black is the same way.
Well, Lewis Black is a liberal motherfucker, though, man. He's too liberal for me. He's too liberal for me. His whole stance on guns and all that shit, he's too liberal for me. He's funny, but I don't listen to him on a regular basis at all. I used to like Lee Camp, but Lee Camp is extremely liberal now, too, and I just can't take it anymore. I can't stomach it anymore. You know, and ever since he went on RT and got his own show on RT, he's
I was going to
changed.
say I liked it before he got on RT. He was hilarious.
Yeah, he's changed a whole lot. He got a bite of the apple, I think. It's a shame, man. It's just, and all these fucking people that are in cryptos too. I'm telling you, man. If you get in, know when to get out. Get in, make your money, get yourself paid off, get a little comfort money, and then get the fuck out, dude. Don't try to get rich. All you people that are trying to get rich on these cryptos are going to wind up losing your fucking asses because they're just going to unplug it at one point. And watch what happens when we go to war. When we really go to war. There's no history to these cryptos. They're not even 10 years old yet. And when the entire world is shaken at its foundations by World War III, do you think people are going to have any interest in cryptos?
Yeah, that's what I think about that too, man. War breaks out, cryptos are going to be gone.
Well, there was two guys on Fox this morning when I had it on in the background.
There's some people making
and
huge
they
money.
They were Bitcoin experts, cyber, these coins experts. And I mean, they were making good points because they were like, well, look at the dollar. I mean, it's not backed by anything. The only reason it has value is because you perceive it to have value. He said Bitcoin's the same way. I mean, you perceive it to have value, so...
Well, the dollar, at this point, the dollar is an electronic currency also because they only print...
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, they only print 1 out of 10. Yeah.
And it has value because you perceive it to have value. It's not backed by anything. No. It's cyber currency.
That's why I don't keep any at all. I use it when I have to use it, and other than that, I don't use it. I don't. I just don't. I'm so broke right now, dude, I couldn't pay attention. So that's just the way it's going to go. That's the way it's going to go.
One thing about a grid down situation, it'll wipe out my credit card debt.
I'm checking on the chat room. You guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
If anybody heard this story, it came out yesterday. It says, this is out of WFAA Channel 8 ABC out of San Diego. It says, cartel wedding secured by armed border patrol agents. And it says, it was a heartwarming scene. A U.S. citizen forbidden to enter Mexico wed the love of his life in a brief moment when the gate separating the two countries was open. Now, a newspaper says the groom is a convicted drug smuggler, and border agents are furious that he passed a federal background check and was approved for the Door of Hope event last month. It says the agents are upset, feel like they were taken advantage of, feeling like they were duped. Said the vice president of the National Border Patrol Council. Says, turns out we provided armed security for a cartel wedding. Isn't that some shit?
That's some bullshit right there, man. Jesus Christ.
And it shows a picture of it here. Troops leaning against the walls, doing an armed guard, for this wedding. Here it was a drug cartel member that got busted in our country.
That completely makes sense to me at this point, though, man. Everything's so fucking upside down. That completely makes sense to me now.
And it says, on November 18th, Brian Houston of San Diego and Avila Reyes of Mexico signed official Tijuana documents making them husband and wife, and then embraced between the doors of a steel gate that is open for only an hour or so every year. It was the first wedding at the Borderfield State Park during the Door of Hope event, which permits people who cannot cross the border to meet for about 3 minutes each. But anyway,
was there any coitus involved in this meeting?
You know, this dude that got married here was a guy that we were holding 'cause he had got busted for selling drugs from Mexico, and here he slipped through the fucking paperwork and was able to have armed guards using our border patrol's armed guards so he could get married. Someone really dropped the ball on that, man. Standing armed guard for an ex-cartel member. But I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't done on purpose. Myself, I don't buy the story myself. I think that, hey, it is what it is.
It was a cover for something. It was a cover. The wedding was a cover for something.
War on drugs type of thing, man. It's us in Mexico. It's Mexico saying, hey, we need to do something for this big drug dealer of ours over there.
Probably some more guns going across for
Oh, probably is. I'm sure some kind of arrangement was made where this happened.
Yes, Doug Stanhope is very funny. That comment was made in the chat. And Dan Pratt says that he's convinced that Trump is the Antichrist. I don't know, man. I've seen some other stuff that says Obama was, and that he's going to come back as the UN savior of the planet and reveal himself.
No, I can't see that either. No.
I don't. The guy had a good case made for that one too. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I know we're in biblical times right now, and I'm just kind of sitting back and watching because it's hard to make any predictions anymore. Everything's so freaking crazy.
Talk about biblical times. The Mass tonight from Leeds Cathedral, lovely Mass. Thank you very much. Catholic, but okay, fine. All denominations, whatever.
Were you there live, or were you just watching it on TV?
I watched it on TV.
Okay.
I never go.
I was gonna say, if you were there live, dude, you need to go take a serious bath and wash that shit off of you.
No, if I walked into a church, I would spontaneously combust, I think. Anyway,
go ahead.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm just choking to death.
Hairball. It was a hairball.
I'm doing a huge.
I got a reason though. I smoke pot. You're just coughing. No, you got a hairball or something. Yeah.
I've got a hairball or something like that.
Yeah. Stop licking your nuts.
Aww.
I'm just fucking with you, man. Keep going.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed doing that. Anyway, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Focus.
Yes.
Focus.
You put me off. Always put me off. Stop it. Naughty. Cool, Bennett.
Come on, JR. Finish your thought.
I'm thinking.
Oh, jeez. That's going to take a minute.
Yeah. Yes. Basically, what I was trying to say was, it's all denominations based on this service, and it was very, very, very nice, and it was based on the usual light and blah 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 blah. Okay, and they covered all ethnicities. I must confess, a lot of them were blacks, Filipinos, and stuff like that. But it was Catholic, so. but it was based in Leeds, and it was a very, very nice service. And I must confess, I really enjoyed it. And the actual message was quite nice as well, and it was very poignant. And it was basically meant to say, please think about everybody who is not fortunate as yourselves or whatever, and a lot of people probably are missing relatives, friends, and family this time of year.
There's
and
a lot of suicides around this time of year.
I do. Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of suicides around this time of year.
And like yourself, Jimmy, you've lost your mum this year, quite close to Christmas, and stuff like that. Okay. So I don't want to bring that up, but what I'm saying
is, you just did.
There's a lot of people like yourself.
You just did. You just brought it up. Why do people always do that, man? I hate to bring bad shit up, but
It's a natural thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's called foot and mouth disease. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there that got it. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah, and I've got one.
Are you getting to the point, man?
Yeah, no. Well, you've taken the wind right out my sail now.
Hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll shut up now.
No, what I'm basically saying is, Luke, I'm trying to put forward, it's not all bad out there, yeah?
No, it's not. It's not all bad. I actually had a very good day today. I had a good day yesterday. That's why I didn't do the show, because I was working on my general until 7:30 or 7:45 at night.
I'm just talking about general.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. There is good out there. I'm experiencing it myself. So yes, I don't believe that everything is all tits up and we're all gonna fucking die tomorrow.
No, we don't.
I'm still living my life. Even if we start World War III in the next 24 hours, I'm still gonna get up every day and go about my business, doing my thing, and you know what I'm saying?
Here we go again, Jimmy.
Okay.
This is crazy. World War III, World War II. It brought countries together. It brought people together. It brought us all together.
I don't think in a World War III
it amplified. Every war amplifies statism, and statism is the worst religion out there. Thinking that you are better than somebody else because of where they live, or the color of their skin, or the god that they worship, or what the fuck ever. Statism is horrible and responsible for wars.
No, what I'm saying is communityism, okay? And look at the progress.
The reason that everybody was waving a flag after 9/11 is because they wanted the military to go bomb the shit out of somebody. They had no idea that it was our own government that did it to us. You dig what I'm saying, man? Statism is a religion that gets people killed.
Okay.
That's a fact, dude. That's a fact, JR. The only reason that this country came together after 9/11 is because they were hoaxed into thinking that some jackass in a cave ran some planes into a couple of buildings. That's an example that I picked, brother.
Okay. I'm talking about World War II.
It's the same fucking thing, dude. The Rothschilds were funding both sides of that goddamn war.
Okay.
It's the same way with the Israelis and the Palestinians. One group of people thinks that they're better than another group of people, so they're trying to eliminate them off the face of the planet.
I'm not gonna talk about that one.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah. It's just a different location and a couple of different peoples.
Okay. I'm touching on edgy ground, I think.
Sorry, man. I'm just trying to educate you. If you're not willing to accept the knowledge, then we'll move on.
No. Education's good. Okay.
You got to drink the water, though. You can't just stand there and look at it when I lead you to it. You got to drink the water. That's all I'm asking from people. Drink some of the water that I'm leading you to.
I've always said the internet, you can make a web page, but basically you are a grain of sugar in an ocean of salt. What you've got to do is to promote that grain of sugar, to make people, force them to accept that the ocean is sweet.
You can't force people to accept anything, brother. They have to find it on their own. That's the one. All I can do is lead you. All I can do is show you.
No, it's called marketing.
No, I'm not about that. I'm not about that. My message doesn't have a monetary value to it, brother. You're either gonna have the ears to hear it and the eyes to see it, or you're not. It's just that simple.
Okay.
It's just that simple.
I have eyes, big eyes. Okay, but I've also got a wide mind as well. Okay, that's That's all I'm going to say.
The father of lies talks all the time. You have to make sure you can understand.
Jimmy, within us we have a devil. We have an evil spirit, which I fight every day, which everybody fights every day. It's within us all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
You have to make a choice.
I think you understand what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We have all got the devil. We've all got the evil inside us.
Yep.
Some can suppress it.
Inner demon.
Some can push it down, but not everybody can. And a lot of people show that devil and evil.
Yeah, that's temptation,
But
man.
a lot of people don't. They have got strong will and they've got strong power. And they can do that.
I don't know about lots of people that have that will and the majority have given in at this stage of the game, and the evil's all around us now. It's not just inside us; it's all around us now. I mean, you know, these elites, if you will. I hate calling them that because I don't think they're elite. These rich people that run everything, this cabal that's running everything right now.
Cabal, yeah.
Yeah, those they have found ways and have knowledge that we don't, right?
Circumnavigate.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've had the gates of hell open for quite a while. So this evil's been permeating society for decades. And it's just getting thicker and thicker and thicker. We talked about this on the last show. There are more and more people out there. If you really pay attention when you're out in public, there are more and more people out there that have lost their humanity. If you look in their eyes when you're talking to them, you can't see, and there's no light anymore. They've just become drone-like people that are just existing. And that's because they've given into the evil, I believe.
Exactly. And also all of the mainstream media, and also the apps and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely,
the mobile
man.
technology.
So long this thing right here that everybody has in their pocket, this little iPhone, you know, there's a lot of videos online about this stuff. And the thing that's right in front of me, this computer thing right in front of me that I'm talking to, and this other monitor over here that I've got, they're scrying mirrors. They're black mirrors. They're black mirrors. If you don't know what a scrying mirror is, go Google it and look at what they are. They're for divination. They're for talking to spirits.
Or channeling spirits, anyway.
And everybody's got one in their hand. And they're walking down the road like this, just staring at the fucking thing 17 hours a day. You think they're not taken over by something?
You were into the black arts, Jimmy.
I'm not into the black arts, dude. I'm educated on what's around me. I'm educated on the evil that I have to fucking wade through every day.
Okay, that's cool. And hi, Charlie.
Charlie's here? Charlie, you want to come on, brother?
No, he's not. Or in the room, maybe.
Charlie, you want to come on for the last 40 minutes, brother? Hit me up.
Yeah.
Hey, can I follow up?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, add in here, Lance. I want you to add in here.
So, patriotism is what he's talking about. Patriotism.
That's statism.
But when he was talking about everybody coming together, patriotism, all these people sign up, why we had 9/11, everybody rallied. It was for patriotism. So I'll throw a couple quotes out there on patriotism. Patriotism is your conviction that this country is superior to all others because you were born in it. Mark Twain, patriotism is supporting your country all the time and the government when it deserves it.
I agree with that, man. God, you are such...
It is laughable.
I have you in my reason I have you in my life for a reason. I have you in my life for a reason. It is
laughable that to be a good patriot, one must become the enemy of the rest of mankind. So, again, patriotism is you think you're superior because you were born in the country.
In a certain place, yeah.
Strange. So in your country...
You're not supposed to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who says it.
Exactly.
And that was Malcolm X.
So you don't have like a sense of community.
But see, it's the government creating that sense of community, so you'll back a war, is what it's all about.
Or fomenting a war.
Patriotism, so won't complain when they go to war.
Or creating an event and blaming it on a certain people because they want to start a war and change the government.
You have to create the boogeyman. You have to create the enemy to scare the people into being sheeple.
Weapons of mass destruction.
With their nefarious plans.
They got weapons of mass destruction.
Them that they're being unpatriotic. Patriotism means silence in their eyes.
Right.
Operation Paperclip.
Don't question what we tell you. Just back us 100%.
Yes. You are right.
But
Bring me swiftly on.
That's all my quotes.
Thank you, brother.
Right, Lance. Oh, thanks, mate. And also,
you
Lance,
are a jewel
happy
of a
Christmas to you,
friend.
by the way.
Yes. Happy Christmas, Lance.
Lance.
Watch out for Krampus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do this. Forgive me, Lance, if this catches you off guard, but I have to ask you this. Everybody that's been paying attention to the show knows that Lance has a son that's autistic. And I listened to an interview with some people the other day, and they okay. This also came from Dan Pratt, This actually, that's where it started. And then I started digging into the thing, and I listened to an interview of another guy that was talking about the same thing. So I'm going to ask you this just straight out. When you were raising your son, did you raise him to be religious at all or spiritual?
Oh,
No? Okay. Mm-mm. Then it really doesn't apply to you.
But they went to church. I mean, Cheryl took both the kids to church.
Oh, okay. Okay. So he knows
for a number of years.
Okay.
When they were young.
Okay. Then here's the thing. This is what I want to ask you. As he grew older, did he lose his interest in church and God and all that?
No, I mean, it's just more cartoons and everything else. It's not an important thing.
So he never really got into the whole church thing at all. It was just kind of something they did, and then now they don't.
Yeah, I mean, it was a routine. I mean, they did kids' church or whatever it was.
Okay, so that's that was something that Dan asked in one of his videos. He was like, I wonder if they're raised spiritual or if they're raised Christian or Catholic or whatever, as they get older in life, if they lose that, and why they might lose that. And if that's, the whole part of the autism thing, that they want people to be less spiritual, more drone-ish, just not giving a shit about.
Well, I mean, drone-ish, I don't know about that. It's like Groundhog Day. I mean, it's the eternal 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old sense of humor.
Yeah.
I mean, intelligence level's higher, but zero, personal personal people skills,
right.
Boundaries. So, I mean, it's Groundhog Day over and over.
What gets him excited? What does he have a passion for anything at all?
Anything childish. I mean,
he doesn't draw or like photography.
Anything that would excite a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid.
Right.
That's it.
He doesn't have any like savant things or anything.
I mean, memory and stuff like that. He can remember everything.
Can he? Everybody's name that he's ever met and stuff, been introduced to?
Stuff, random, stupid stuff.
Very cool.
But he's working, so we're happy.
Awesome. How's that going? I hear you, JR. I'm going to get to you in just a second.
Yes, good, mate.
I mean, he's a dishwasher at a local seafood restaurant. Works 2 days a week, so that's all we need.
Awesome. Gives him some play money to go get the shit he wants.
Well, he's OCD too, so he won't spend his money.
Oh, get him a big piggy bank. Tell him to invest in silver and gold.
Yep. Oh no, he won't spend it. He won't spend it. It's got to sit there.
That's the easy way to let it sit there, man. He can look at that shiny
Yep.
shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. All right, go ahead, JR.
I have that problem myself. So.
What, staring at shiny shit? Me too.
No.
Squirrel. Oh, sorry.
Not being able to spend my money.
I don't have any money to spend, so that makes it even easier.
Well, that's okay. I'm very conservative.
Not really. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Come on. I that's okay. I'm shutting up now.
No. Please talk over me, because the more you talk with me, the better I am. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Focus.
It's part of the show, isn't it?
Yeah. When you're on it,
it would be a boring show if it was just me talking and nothing else. So, anyway, I was basically intending to say that. I was thinking. Basically, what Lance was saying is, I've got to think, or else I'll stammer.
you're all right, man. You're all right. Just try to grit your teeth and work through it.
I don't want to stammer.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Charlie, are you going to add in or what, man?
It upsets me. Okay, I don't like doing that. Basically, see, this is me when I haven't had a drink. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to be okay. Basically, or not a lot of drink. Basically, what Lance is saying is his kid is going through an autistic time. Okay, and okay,
thanks.
We all are slightly autistic inside.
Okay.
Because I am. We are. You are.
Okay.
We all have OCD traits. We all have childish thoughts, and also nobody is one single-minded.
Did you just take us into the shitter with you, Lance? Did I just hear your fucking shitter flush, man?
You're lucky I put it on mute when I was peeing in the toilet.
Oh my god!
And believe me, I thought about it, but I didn't do it. But I thought about it as y'all's Christmas present.
So we all got to shake it with you.
Yep.
Oh shit! That's a first for the show. That's a first for Boiler Room Radio. Lance took us into the shitter with him. Well, I don't think that's a first, but it's the first time he unmuted it.
I take you in there quite often. You guys are my company in the bathroom quite often during the show. But
so there's times when I'm calling for you and you don't answer, and I actually say, "I think he's pooping." That you're really pooping.
No, I'll do it during the show.
Oh man. Moving on swiftly.
Thank
Dave?
you. That's my saying.
Dave, anything on the stack of stuff there? Any breaking news coming in? Or do you have to flush first?
Please.
Little Kim just came out and announced that he's going to keep up with his missile launches. He's going to keep up with his space launches, and that basically he's going to use some of his space launches as missile tests without us knowing it. And basically telling us to suck it. He ain't giving up his nukes.
Hey, you know what? If I was in his place, I'd say the same fucking thing. Eat a dick, USA. You guys have been punching us like fucking like rag dolls for 50 plus years. Fuck you. But you know, we're diving headlong into this fucking shitter.
Oh, this was interesting today. It says gift wrapped horse poop sends bomb squad to Steve Mnuchin's Bel Air mansion.
I didn't know if you guys wanted to bring that up. I was going to bring that up in a little bit if we didn't have anything else. That's just too funny, dude. You know, and I got to say something to Mnuchin. If you are that big of a piece of crap human that you have to call the bomb squad about a box that shows up on your front porch, that should tell you something, brother. That should tell you something. If the first thing you think of when you find a box on your front porch is that you better call the bomb squad because you think somebody might be trying to kill you, What's that say about your character, Jack?
And there's
Better
nothing
do
wrong
some
with
soul
you.
searching.
It's good stuff.
Beg pardon?
Well, you know, after him and his wife posed with that picture a couple months ago with them in front of the printing press holding money up and making those stupid poses.
Wasn't he the
around.
dickhead that went to the fucking Federal Reserve and said, the gold's there? Or he went down to Fort Knox and just tweeted it out, the gold's fine. Isn't that the same
Yep.
dick? Yeah. Okay. Fuck you.
He's the one.
I wish he'd have stepped in the fucking thing.
He's the one taking all these private flights all over the place on the taxpayer dime.
Oh, yeah, just like Obama did.
Got caught on it, and then he ended up saying, well, I'll pay some of it back.
But I ain't paying it all.
Yeah, that's what he said. I'll pay some of it back. I ain't paying it all back. Him and his wife were going on these luxurious vacations over to France and all over Swiss Alps and stuff, taking private planes using our money for it.
Fucking jerk off.
Like they all do. He's no different.
No. Been going on for decades.
He just got caught.
Yeah. But we treat these fuckers like they're Hollywood. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Fucking royalty.
Piss on them. Eat the rich.
You know, this story came out today. It says Pennsylvania police shootings were a terror attack, DHS says. It says Department of Homeland Security is calling a series of shootings targeting law enforcement in Pennsylvania a terrorist attack. Authorities say Ahmed Minamin El Mofti, 51, was shot and killed by police Friday in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, after he fired several times at law enforcement officers throughout the city.
I didn't hear anything about that, dude. I didn't see it on Twitter. I didn't hear anything about that. Did you post it in the room? On Facebook?
Yeah, I posted it in my group today.
Oh, today. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It says the string of shootings began just steps from the state capitol's building when El Mofti fired several times at Capitol police officer and then shot and injured a state trooper. Later he used two handguns to open fire at several officers, who then returned fire and killed him. And they said that there was no doubt that he was directly targeting police officers. And it says, and it goes on and on here. And it says El Mofti was a naturalized U.S. citizen who came to the country on a family-based immigrant visa. And it says both chain migration and the diversity visa lottery program been exploited by terrorists to attack our country. And this is what Trump's harping on real bad, that he wants to shut this chain migration down. Yeah. So it's kind of funny this happened the day after Trump mentioned chain migration. That's just my little conspiracy mind.
Hey, it works. TikTok, add 2 + 2.
You know, so
events happen for a reason. All events happen for a reason, man. You and I both know that.
Yeah.
There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing.
So you know that this all came out, but yeah, they said this dude was a terrorist shooting at cops purposely on Thursday.
Wow, man. That's the first I've heard of it.
I mean, like I said, I think he wounded one or something like that, and
that's kind of a good thing. You know, that means I don't pay attention to every single little thing that comes out. And I'm glad.
Now, here's a story that really pissed me off that came out the other day. I posted in the group. I'm sure you heard about this, Jimmy, in Texas, about that 6-year-old boy that was killed by the police.
Yeah.
You know that they were doing a chase, this lady on foot. That this one city, I forgot what town it was in Texas, but they were chasing her. It was a high-speed chase, and it turned into a foot chase. And this lady ran up on the front porch of this house in this neighborhood. The cops opened fire on her on that porch. A couple bullets went through the house. One struck a 6-year-old boy in the torso. Now, this house and this lady, they were completely random. She just happened to jump on the porch of this house. The family in the house had nothing to do with this. They didn't know.
And they're going to get justified.
They didn't know any of
Those
this.
cops will be justified in that shoot, and they'll walk from it, and nothing will ever happen. The parents might get a couple $1 million, but the taxpayers
shot the boy inside the house, and it's tragic, man. Right before Christmas, you lose your son because the police just opened fire in front of your house. You know, I can't believe the police didn't have the moral capacity to think, hey, if we open fire, there could be people inside this house.
Were they being shot at? If they weren't being shot at, why did they shoot?
That's it. They weren't being shot at.
That's what I don't get. You know, even the military, in the military, you're not allowed to fire. Go ahead, Lance. I'm sorry. I was talking over you.
No, I mean, they could have thought, I mean, their rationale is going to be, as soon as she got in the house, he was going to grab a gun.
I feared for my life.
That is going to be their defense.
Yeah, I feared for my life. In the military, you're not allowed to fire unless you're fired upon. Why doesn't that rule apply to police officers?
You know, it's a sad thing. It really is, man. You know, a 6-year-old boy laying there watching TV and gets fucking killed. You know, it's tragic. And that really pissed me off.
Did she have a gun at any moment during the chase, prior to the foot chase? Did she have a weapon? Was she firing out the car at people? You know, what made them think that she was a deadly threat? That I don't, you know, that would be the first thing that come out of my mouth when I was a prosecutor.
They were pissed off that they didn't obey her.
You didn't fucking stop, bitch! Blah, 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 blah! That's all they do now. You do as you're told, or I'll fucking put you in the dirt.
This is what they said. It says the woman, a suspected car thief who had been trying to break into the home, was also killed in the shooting on Thursday. It says a 6-year-old boy was killed just days before Christmas when sheriff's deputies opened fire on a woman they had been chasing, and one of the bullets pierced the wall of a mobile home and struck the child in the abdomen. It
said it was in San Antonio.
It says the boy, Cameron Prescott, was fatally shot as deputies chased Jones in a prolonged pursuit that was reported as a call of a stolen vehicle, which involved
stolen car. All this over a fucking car. They got insurance, man.
Who had outstanding felony warrants. And it said during the first encounter, a deputy identified what he believed was a weapon in the hands of that suspect, and the woman later threatened deputies with a weapon and verbalized to him that she intended to shoot him with that weapon, although no gun has yet to have been found.
Oh my goodness.
And it says Salazar says investigators had found what appeared to be a pipe that had the suspect's blood on it underneath the deck where the shooting took place. Salazar said Jones got cornered at the home in the Pelican Grove mobile home park and threatened Cameron's family as well as officers when they caught up with her. Cameron was the kindest-hearted little boy that I've ever had the pleasure of teaching. The first grade teacher said that she had him as a student. And it says the slain boy and his family, which includes a law enforcement officer, do not know the suspect. And so, you know, it's sketchy here. It sounds like they thought she had a gun, but she didn't have a gun. And it says 4 deputies fired at the woman. They were later identified as deputies, and they list their names. And all 4 had anywhere from 2 to 27 years service on the job.
How many rounds were fired? Did they fire 50 rounds into the fucking house? Did everybody empty their goddamn gun in the house?
All 4 different cops shot at the same time.
That's what I mean. Did they all just fucking fill the fucking house with lead?
That's what it sounds like.
It's a fucking mobile home park, too. They're lucky they didn't kill people 6 houses away. Yeah. You know? Fuck.
And it says at the time we don't believe she was armed. She was presenting to be armed at various times throughout the prolonged pursuit.
I feared for my life. I feared for my life. If you're that big of a bitch, dude, you don't need to be a cop. Just that it's just that simple. If you're gonna get scared from every fucking jackrabbit that runs from you, and you're gonna try to fill them with lead because they run from you, don't have any business being a cop, dude. Drop your badge on the ground and walk away.
You know, she threatened to shoot the cops several times throughout the whole ordeal, and they thought she was producing a gun, but it wasn't a gun. It was like a pipe or something.
I've read stories on this very show where they killed a man in a wheelchair because he had a pen in his hand, and they were scared to death that he might stab them. He was in a fucking wheelchair. He didn't have any legs. Anyway, the cops are off the chain, dude. They get me pissed off.
You know, here in Pennsylvania, we're shooting cops. It's a terror attack. But when cops kill an innocent 6-year-old boy, it's an accidental shooting.
They'll justify it. Yeah, they'll justify it.
You know, I've noticed that yesterday, terror attack on cops. Today, accidental shooting when the cops terrorize someone else. Yeah. You know, it's hypocrisy at its greatest here. You know. And this is why cops get shot at, sadly enough, because of stupid shit like this.
The thing in Philadelphia is to get every cop in this country scared to death of everybody they run across. They train them that way in the academies. You're not a citizen that they serve and protect. You're a potential suspect.
Yep.
Everybody they run into is a potential suspect.
No matter how old you are.
Right.
You know, they shot that, 12-year-old a couple years ago there, and was it Ohio or whatever, sitting there on the table. They pulled up because there was a report that he had a gun, and the cops pulled up and just executed him without even looking.
Yeah. What was the one? They just fucking tackled and arrested a 93-year-old woman. Fucking bruised her all up and yeah. Whatever, man. Whatever. And they're all let go. I've rarely over the last couple of years, I've seen a couple of cops go down for various crimes that they committed, but very rare, very rare. They're usually always justified. The little fucking tattooed dirtbag that assassinated the dad in the hallway. We just watched that video all over social media, right? They just fucking let him go. Justified that shooting.
That's what I mean. It's a double standard. When cops get shot at, it's a terror attack. But when cops shoot at civilians, it's justified.
Right. Right.
I'm not saying cops should be shot at. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying,
they should have
a double standard there.
They should suffer consequences for their actions, man.
Yeah.
They're just, whatever. Go ahead. They're public servants, for fuck's sake, man. We pay their salaries.
I mean, there's a few decent police out there. I firmly believe it. I've known a couple here in town, and they're really.
But they're still culpable because they don't arrest the bad ones.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. But at the same time, when a good cop narcs on a bad cop, a good cop don't have a job no more either.
Hey, Serpico did it. Stand up and be like Serpico. They made a movie about that motherfucker.
I mean, a good cop, like one up here, this cop up here narking some cops here where I live in Fargo several years ago. And he was ended up being blackballed by everybody on the force.
Absolutely.
They didn't fire him, but he was blackballed.
Hey, you know what? If you know that the job is dirty, then you don't need to be in that job anyway. Start a private security firm.
15 years. He had served like 15 years, and he ended up quitting and going out and killing himself in a graveyard.
See, quitter. He should have just went to work for himself, man. Opened a private security firm or started a gun range or, he had background. He could have done something else.
He wanted to be a cop. That was his calling.
He should have
started. That's what his wife said and said no matter what. And when he narked on those bad cops, they completely, excommunicated him. Didn't fire him, but no one would talk to him anymore. They gave him shitty patrols and he just fuck, my life's over. This was my dream, man. Fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, quitter.
I
feel bad for him.
Someone that commits suicide, I guess. But
I feel bad for the guy. I really do. But he's a quitter. He quit on his family, quit on his kids, quit on his wife.
Oh, I agree. Anybody that commits suicide has to have some other side issues too. Don't get me wrong. Right. I've quit jobs and I've never gone out and killed myself. So. But at the same time, when it's so easy to say these good cops should out these bad cops, it just isn't that easy when you're on the force, man. There's politics behind it all.
You have choices to make in your life, and some of them are fucking hard, dude. But the one thing that you should always try to be is true to yourself, true to your family, true to, you know what I mean?
I understand that. I'm not arguing.
Oh, I know. I'm just stating my point. I'm just saying
when you've got a mortgage, you've got a house payment, you've got 2, 3, 4 kids.
There's other ways to do it,
your lifelong dream to be a cop, and all of a sudden it's pretty much taken away from you because you told the truth, and that's all you're done. I mean, you really have to understand. Like I said, I understand suicide is not an answer. I get that, but. I just think he could have found a different path, man. Bad cops, man.
I know. He just could have found a different path. And I don't, the suicide might have been a put on too. They might have fucking murdered him and made it look like a suicide for all we know.
They could have. You never know.
Yeah, so there is that too.
Is it okay if I ask? Your cops are state-based, aren't they? Individually.
State, local, county. There's
exactly,
there's state,
in
local.
In the United Kingdom, they're like Scotland Yard, job done. So
even your local bobbies go through Scotland Yard. I thought Scotland Yard was like the FBI over there.
No, it controls the whole of the police force.
Wow, I didn't know
It's,
that. So every Bobby
well,
that's out there directing traffic and shit, they all report to Scotland Yard.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Wow.
And the FBI is...
Well, that's what you get for having a
the
country that's
MI5.
about the size of New
MI5.
Jersey. I'm
Sorry?
just kidding. I said that's what you get for having a country that's about the size of New Jersey. And I'm
it's
kidding.
right. Small country. I love it. It's nice. We're all nice and cozy, community-like.
Now,
know?
it's not that same way up in Scotland, though, right? I mean, the Scotland police don't report to Scotland Yard, do they?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
It's confusing.
It is kind of
maybe
confusing,
swiftly on.
considering that you guys live in England and you have Scotland Yard.
Exactly. Like I said, it's confusing. Okay.
Does Scotland have England Yard?
No.
No? Okay, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right,
Moving
moving
swiftly on.
Yeah. David, any breaking news coming across? We got 10 minutes to fill.
I don't see anything breaking. So, explosion near office of Afghan intel agency in Kabul just happened. Casualties feared.
Just keep killing people, man. That's all they want. They keep killing people. Keep those wars going at any cost. Go ahead.
Do me a favor.
Go ahead.
It's ridiculous. Just.
It is
terrible.
ridiculous. That's what and I'm. It's getting old talking about it every week about the same bullshit.
Exactly. It's the same thing, isn't it? Same every day. It's like
Either-
not in the same reports.
Right.
Same
Either
places.
back the truck up and go another direction, or drop the shoe already. And I think they're getting ready to drop the shoe, which is going to suck like balls, man. But hey, it is what it is, right?
It's Christmas. Jimmy, what are you going to have for your Christmas Day dinner tomorrow?
Oh, shit, I don't know, dude. I don't make plans like that. I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate. I don't do that. I don't fall for that bullshit, man. I just don't. We stopped celebrating Thanksgiving and stuff, and kind of put the kibosh on Christmas back when my dad died in 06, because he died the day after Thanksgiving in 06, and it just kind of put the whole on that holiday, because he was in the hospital during the holiday, right? So, yes. We just didn't celebrate after that, and then it's so close to Christmas that because we didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, we usually didn't do anything for Christmas. We might go out for dinner or whatever, but that was it. And it was just me and Mom, Jill and the kids would come down every other year or whatever, but
yeah,
that was just a bunch of to-do for nothing. Everybody got their panties in a wad, and then something would go on, and everybody get in a pissed off mood, and it's just why? If you can't get together and be friendly with your family, even at that time of the year, then what's the point, man? That's why I try to tell everybody that I talk to, if they say Merry Christmas to me, I'll say Merry Christmas back to them, because that's what they're into, right? And I'm not going to put a squash on there. I'm not going to, it's a pagan fucking holiday, you idiot. And I'm not going to do all that to people just in general, right? So I try to focus on Christ. He's the reason that all this shit's going on anyway, right? Everybody's supposed to be focusing on him. So be more like him and everything's good, right? But you should act like this all the time. All the time. Why does it have to take one time of the year for everybody to actually turn off their bitch switch and act like a fucking human?
Yeah. No, Christian, Christ-like.
Exactly. But you can't say Christian either, man, because if you do, the Muslims want to behead you, or people look down at you and spit on you, and well, you're a Christian. Suppose you got a gun too. People and it's more. It's all about consumerism now. Everybody's got to go out and buy the next big thing, or it's just about spending money that you don't have on people that you don't like.
What she asked me is, what do you want for Christmas? I said, nothing. I said, what? Yeah, nothing. Zero. All I want is you to be sitting here with me, having a good laugh, having a beer. Well, she can't drink beer because, for reasons. But just sitting down with me and having a good laugh and, just be with me.
Yeah.
That's what I want for Christmas.
Some company.
Literally.
Just to hang out with some friends and joke and shoot the shit and
quality time.
Reminisce about, and that's what I was telling everybody else, everybody that I talked to today when I'm talking to them about, going to spend time with their families. I'm like, make memories. Make some really good memories that you'll remember for years to come, man. That's what this is all about. Go spend time with your family. It's not about the fucking packages. It's not about who got what and how much you spent on who and blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's about the meal. Have an excellent fucking meal with excellent people. Enjoy yourselves and make memories that last and last and last.
That's it. 100%.
Yeah, see, we had our meal tonight. We celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. My wife's family does.
Our family used
they're all over here. I passed out on the couch tonight after I ate between my sister-in-law and mother-in-law. I was snoring a storm up right between both of them.
Everybody used to say it was tryptophan in the turkey. It's the tryptophan in the turkey. It makes you all mellow and shit, and it just makes you want to go to sleep.
Turkey.
It's a fucking food coma, man. It's the one time of the year you actually go back for thirds because that shit is good.
Yeah, dude, we ate like diced up steak and mashed potatoes.
It's fucking food coma.
And I went and ate, and then we're all sitting on the couch, and that thing, I'm snoring between my mother and sister-in-law.
Who's got the softer shoulder?
Well, here this year it's sprouts, carrots, turkey, thighs, and I think it's Mum's gluten-free stuffing and gluten-free sausage and stuff like that. Okay,
gluten-free.
Yeah. No, it's just my Mum's completely. If she has a.
Dude, I'm 50 years old. I've never heard any fucking thing at all about gluten except in the last 10 years. Nobody I've ever known in my entire life suffered from gluten shit.
Since my mum, she's about 60, and she never knew anything about it.
If you grew your own wheat and ground your own flour, it wouldn't affect her at all, man. It's the processed shit that we're eating. That's what it is.
Well, yeah,
she's having a reaction
tried,
to that.
But she can't.
Yeah.
She can't. Because in this country, the amount of ingredients that you've got in your country is zero. Yeah, it's very minimal in this country. You've got more stuff. So see, my mum goes online, listens to YouTube.
What are you talking about?
Listens to all the stuff, and then she says, "Where can I get it in this country?" And they say, "We don't stock it." So it's hopefully when we come out of the EU, we can have a trade negotiation with America that will. Improve our dietary supplements in this country.
Huh. Well, add me first, Charlie. That way you can get on the show. You can do all the other shit later. He signed into his account, and it's like somebody erased it.
Oh, Charlie.
That's what you get for going to Mexico, man. Somebody hacked your shit through your phone. Oh, shit. Anyway. Moving on. What were you saying now?
Gluten-free.
Huh?
It's a myth.
What were you talking about before Charlie dinged me?
Gluten-free, it's a myth.
Gluten-free.
No.
Yeah, it is a myth.
It's not a myth.
It's the processed shit that we're eating. She's reacting. Her body's reacting to the processed shit that we're eating. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as gluten intolerance.
Okay.
I think it's all fucking bullshit. It's the
I hate
healthcare.
to see my mother when she's had grain of flour.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's reacting to all
nice.
the chemicals and stuff. Her
Seriously,
body has become intolerant to that shit because it can't take it anymore. It's like the damage is done.
Okay.
That's what I believe, anyway. I might be totally wrong,
that's cool.
But that's what
cool. Cool. I respect that. Okay.
You got to admit, the processed food that we're eating has absolutely no nutritional value to the human body.
My
it
God,
just keeps us
I don't even touch it.
Yeah.
If I can't cook it myself, I don't eat it.
Yeah, but I mean, even the stuff, if you go to the store, I was talking about this earlier, if you go to the store and buy a fucking basket full of groceries and take it home, everything that you're buying is all processed too, Unless you go to a whole food store, or unless you go down to the farmer's market and you buy the shit from the guy that grew it out of the ground, or unless you grow it out of the ground yourself, you really don't know what the fuck you're eating. If it's in a box or it has a label on it, you probably don't know what it is, honestly.
The only thing I eat processed is bacon.
Bacon's so good.
I know, yeah, you can't outbreathe that. Come on, everybody eats that.
Bacon, man. Bacon's like meat candy.
Yeah, all right. I must confess, it is a guilty pleasure.
Yes, it is. Hey, wow, we made it through a show. Everybody out there, enjoy your holiday with your family. You know, like I said earlier, go make some memories, some wonderful times. Enjoy yourselves, please. Be careful, because there's going to be a lot of fucking idiots out there that are driving around drunk and shit. So watch your six. Everybody, please watch your six. Situational awareness always. There's a lot of thieves out there now, too, especially this time of the year. So, but enjoy yourselves, please. Enjoy yourselves.
Jimmy, please be safe and have a pleasant Christmas, okay?
You too.
Thank you.
Lance, thank you, brother, for showing up, man. I'm glad you had a good time out there at the Billion Light Festival. That must have been awesomeness. David, please stay warm, man. I hope you have some secondary heat up there in case something happens to the power and you lose, you know.
That's called the wife and dog.
Awesome. Huddle up underneath the blanket and everybody have beans and stuff, because that'll add to the heat.
Happy Christmas, everybody in the chat room and on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas.
Donald Trump says I can say Merry Christmas again, so Merry Christmas.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to hang up on you three and play the music outro for everybody in the chat room. So
That's all. Be safe.
Thank you again, everybody. See you guys. And with that call being done, I'm talking to all you in the chat now and everybody that watches on YouTube afterwards. Take care of yourselves. Things are awful scary out there right now in general. So, like I said before, have an awesome time over this holiday with your family. Make some memories. Love, peace, and cookies.
I called myself a Christian, but I didn't know much about the Bible. I did not have a true personal relationship with Jesus. I didn't know much about him. And so I realized I want to know Jesus more. And that was the beginning of my true walk with Christ.
It's like they say I was blind, but now I see. The old cliches of being born again, that's me. I was just living then, but now I am alive. I finally found my way home. I have arrived, and now it seems so clear that God is really here. My life is hard, but with him I will persevere. And when I am in pain, and when I'm suffering, I call his name and believe what he proclaimed. That's when he carries me. I know he's listening. I know he's watching and aware of my every need. No longer live in shame, now I can overcome. In every place that I'm weak, that's where he's strong. I know he really cares, and when I pray he hears. I know with him by my side, I can face my fears. My journey's just begun, there will be obstacles, but through him I know all things are possible.
I was compelled to pick up a Bible and actually read it, looking at the scripture stuff. The more and more I dug into it, the more and more it made sense. I'd been doing a lot of personal development at the time and was intrigued with such things as the secret and new age ways of living. As I read about Jesus and his teachings, it hit me like a ton of bricks. All this stuff I was reading in the new age was just ripped off Jesus. They replaced God with the universe, and they replaced prayer / faith with the law of attraction.
I feel his presence now. I know he knows just how to answer questions and resolve all my fears and doubts. I'm growing every day. I don't know everything. The more I learn, I realize I don't know anything. But something's happening. There's just a joy he brings. I can't explain it. I'm released from these heavy chains. I live with purpose now. Know I can stand my ground. I have a reason and foundation for which I'm proud. Something outside myself, something that's more than me. I tried it my way and wound up with nothing. I know he understands, I know he has a plan. I know he's been in control since time began. And now I'm on his side, I'm on the winning team. Know where I'm going, where I'll be for eternity. My life will someday end, but now I'm not afraid. I know he's made a way, that he's prepared a place.
I ran from the Lord a long time. I did drugs, I did the alcohol, the sex. I became a skinhead. If you weren't white, I hated your gut. So much bitterness, so much anger. I hated the world. And so many of you, you're in the same spot that I was. You're in the tomb, man, and you're dead and you stink. But Jesus said, roll away the stone.
Oh, I'm a sinner now, done what you can't allow, but I'm forgiven, not ashamed. I'll say it loud. I have been saved by grace and by His mercy raised. I should be dead, but instead I proclaim His name. He conquered death and sin and made a way through Him. He rose again and ascended and will come again. There is no other truth, there is no other way, no other risen King, no other Savior reigns, no other claim to God, no one that took the blame, nothing that stays the same, nothing that can't explain. I've searched for many years, I've wandered many paths, nothing compares to what's real, and I'm here at last. My destiny unfolds, my mission now begins. I am alive, I've been saved, I owe it all to Him. My vision once was dark, but now I see so clear. Listen but never heard, and now I finally hear.